So this is not surprising, but I guess kind of is. I don't know. After he got benched a couple weeks ago, it was kind of the idea that we should trade him before the trade deadline. And he's still a starting caliber linebacker in this league. So it does make sense. He probably wants to go somewhere and be a starter. Good thing is, we're trading him. So we get to decide where he goes, and we're not Cleveland. We're not going to send him inside the division. So most likely, I could see him ending with the Cardinals. Maybe the Patriots, but I highly doubt it, just because we do play the Patriots. So someone like the Cardinals, 49ers, who else? 49ers would be a good one because they just lost Fred Warner. So they could want to bring in Logan Wilson as like not a replacement, because it's kind of different positional groups in the linebacker position. But they might want to bring in a linebacker to try to see how he works out. Other than that, Seahawks could be somebody that potentially could go after him. Again, I mean, let's be honest. There's a lot of suitors that could go after him. We could trade him to the Packers, right? That's a potential as well. We could trade him to the Vikings or pretty much any NFC team at this point. The only NFC teams we probably wouldn't trade him to, we do play the Cardinals though, but I don't think that would be that big of a deal. So, in the end, this is a player who I think there's going to be teams that are interested. This is not a situation where it's like trading Cam Taylor-Britt, where, let's be honest, nobody out there is going to want Cam Taylor-Britt at this point. But this is a guy that I think a lot of people are going to be interested in, and we're probably going to get a lot of calls for him. Now, will the Bengals trade him? That's a good question, because if you look at the track record of Cincinnati, Jermaine Pratt requested a trade. We didn't trade him. We ended up cutting him in the end. T. Higgins requested a trade. We ended up signing him to a contract extension in the end. Trey Hendrickson requested a trade. We ended up giving him a contract extension. So there's the past. Jonah Williams requested a trade, if you remember back when he was on our team. So again, there's situations where teams or players have requested trades in Cincinnati. It usually does not go through with a trade. It usually is just a situation where player says that, and then either we work out a contract or we just say, we don't care what you want. We're going to move on with our lives. So this is a situation where I feel like they're gonna definitely try to, but it's not guaranteed. And again, the Bengals are going to overvalue him. That's just kind of how Cincinnati works. We always overvalue our guys when it comes to trading them. So would not be surprised if a trade doesn't happen. I would love, personally speaking, to trade, let's say, right now, I would love to go get an edge rusher. If we could trade for an edge rusher or a corner or a safety, that could be really, really big W. Like, package a 6th-round pick, right? With this, we just got an extra 6th-round pick from the Brownies. Obviously, we give it a 5th, but we just got an extra 6th-round pick. Package a 6 and Logan Wilson. Go out there and get like a safety or an edge rusher or a corner. That would be the move to make right now. But again, we'll see. We'll see what Cincinnati is going to end up doing here. I'm sure this is not surprising to anyone at the front office. Again, after you bench a guy like Logan Wilson, you're probably going to kind of see this coming. It's kind of writing on the wall. Like, hey, you bench somebody who still wants to play at a high level, and still believes they're a starter. And I still believe that Logan Wilson is a starter in this league. So we'll see. I'm sure some teams will be interested. Now, I'm sure, though, that teams are going to try to lowball us. And I feel like when Cincinnati gets lowballed by any team when it comes to trading, it doesn't go out well. One trade I think about whenever I think about like how the Cincinnati Bengals use as like a criteria or like a guide on how they want their trades to go is the Billy Price trade, right? That's kind of how they want every trade they do to go. They're never going to get that again. I mean, honestly, they got that with Joe Flacco, let's be honest. But they're not going to get that again from a defensive player side. I think they're going to try to make this like that kind of trade. So they're going to probably try to go get someone like big it's not going to work out, and they might just end up keeping him and settling with keeping him. But this also means he might not play this weekend, because if they're actually trying to trade him, then they might sit him out this weekend and say, hey, you're just not going to be you're not going to be out there because we don't want you to get hurt and not be able to get someone for you. So let me actually pull up real fast the NFL snap counts, because as it says in this article, he did not play much when it comes to the last couple of weeks. So Cincinnati here, and like the worst place he could ever go is like Baltimore or something. But again, we're not Cleveland. We're not going to trade him inside the division. So last couple of weeks, he played 26 snaps, 12 snaps. And yeah, and then this week, it's probably going to be 0 because he requested a trade. So shout out to Logan Wilson. Hopefully he finds a new home. Hopefully he's happy. Nothing but love for Logan. But we'll see how this works out in the end. Peace out.